Happy Wednesday, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tom Houghton, and it's time to have Real Talk with Real Pros. Again, I'm Tom Houghton, and joining me on this topic of Real Talk with Real Pros is going to be RB Gallup of Gallup and LaFitte. Super excited to have him on. Thanks for tuning in. Concrete Creations is here. Give me a wave. Oh, thanks, Concrete Creations. Fantastic. Thanks for tuning in. Give me a thumbs up if you're having a great Wednesday so far. Landscaping. I can't even see the rest of your name, but I already love it. Landscaping twice. Fantastic. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to have Real Talk with Real Pros. Again, we're going to be joined by RB Gallup from Gallup and LaFitte. They're based out of just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. So super excited to have them on today. So stay tuned, stick around, put down those hammers, stop nailing things in somewhere, and just join me for a few minutes while we talk to RB. I'm going to get on the phone here in just a second. Thanks again so much for tuning in. If you're just watching us now, again, we're having Real Talk with Real Pros. I'm your host, Tom Houghton, and I'm so excited you're all here. So I hope you're having a great Wednesday. Again, if you're having a great Wednesday, hit that thumbs up button in the comment. If you've got a question too for RB, let me know in the comment section. That would be great. Kamal Companies just joined. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stonewall Homes, BC, probably one of our neighbors to the north. Super excited you're on. Oliver Builders is here. Is that Oliver from California? Let me know if that's you, Oliver. And then NRG Construction Co. is here. Fantastic. Really excited to have this discussion. Oh, there's already even a question. You can use the question box as well. So we'll make sure we answer that question here in a second when RB. See if I can get him on, get him connected in here, and we'll get going. So how's it going, JP, by the way? Oh, hey, there he is. Hey, RB, how's it going?
Doing well. How about you?
Great. I'm just going to turn you up on my end here a little bit so I can hear you. So are you in the office today?
I am. I'm in our office here, and it's 95 degrees outside and 70% humidity, so it's not a bad place to be right now.
Yeah, it's funny. One of the first questions that came in on the question box there was, how do they survive all the heat and humidity down there? So,
well, we have a lake and some rivers, so those aren't too bad.
Yeah. Sure. So you're just outside Columbia, right?
Yeah, we're outside of Columbia. Actually, I lived in Columbia until recently, just moved up to Chapin. But we work all over the Midlands area is what we call it. And Columbia is the main city, but there's a bunch of little towns and cities around it. And Lake Murray is a big draw for us. We do a bunch of lake properties, and it's been a good source of business.
Yeah, I want to start there. If you're not following Gallup and LaFitte on Instagram, make sure you do, because it's a great little escape. I love watching your stories and your posts because most of them involve water somewhere. So it's nice to feel like I'm out there on the lake with you, building your home. So that's fantastic.
Thanks. I enjoy it. Yeah, it's fun. It's been a real game changer doing the stories, because I'll have people meet us and the interview process is almost over. They say, we feel like we know you, we've met you before. And it's been a real game changer, because they'll just follow you and watch you for who knows how long, and finally decide to give you a call and say, we want you to build our house, instead of we're talking to 3 people, blah, blah, blah. It's more they're already sold on it and ready to be part of the program.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, using Instagram as a sales tool is crucial. If you're not doing it, I mean, you just heard from RB here that it's definitely helped their business.
For sure.
RB, I want to talk a little bit about the company first, for those of you who aren't familiar with your company. So give us a little bit of background. I think it's a family business, if the data that I have is correct. So maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. Well, my parents started the business in 1995, and I've got to give them all the credit. They're just brilliant people, and they worked really hard to get it going. But my father and my mom used to be in the real estate industry for a long time. My dad was a real estate broker, and he saw a real disconnect on custom home builders. They weren't really client friendly. Builders were not client friendly, especially in South Carolina back in the day. It was kind of a fight all the time. So they came up with a design build firm to help kind of bridge the gap from, let's create your beautiful plans, let's do the interior decorating along the way, and let's have an open, organized project management system so you're not out in the dark and it's an enjoyable process. So they really started that with Gallup and Gallup is what they called it. It's because my mom and my dad. And so they had some good name recognition and really were able to get things kicked off. And we're the only ones doing this design build concept in this market. I mean, it's pretty ahead of its time. And then I joined the company in 2000, let's see, I guess it would have been about 2010, and became a builder. I grew up, working in the industry, doing punch list items, cleaning houses, building decks, all that good stuff. And then actually became a builder, and Robert LaFitte joined the company as well at that time. He was a project manager for us in Columbia, and we were still Gallup and Gallup for a while, and then I think it was about 2013 or so, we became Gallup and LaFitte. So it's three owners: myself, Robert LaFitte, my dad.
Fantastic.
And yeah, so it's evolved a lot, and it's pretty exciting. We've grown our company a lot, especially this last year, and it's been fun.
That's awesome. That's a great little background, and I like seeing the family business has evolved, which is great. And you're a part of that. I wonder, are there any familial dynamics there that cause tension? I'm sure that's family for you, right? But
well, I love my dad so much, and he's definitely my best friend, and he always has been. We have a love for the outdoors and backpacking, and it's very similar activities, and so we've always had a very good relationship. And he gave me the opportunity, and it's been I've just tried not to mess it up because everybody loves my dad. So I've been mindful of that. But he has a different style. That man is easygoing. He's just laid back, and he can get by with a lot of things. Someone might ask him something, he can kind of just shrug it off and stuff. Especially when I was coming up in this industry. I mean, I still have this tendency, but a few years ago when I was new, it would really blow me up that I'm getting emails late at night about why this, that, and that. And I've definitely kind of softened and mellowed, and it's interesting as we have younger project managers working for us now. It's kind of fun to sit back and they have that personality. They're all fired up, and it's like I'm in a different seat now, and it's kind of interesting to watch. So
it's good. You're following your father's footsteps. Sounds like got some big shoes to fill, but again, from what I'm seeing on Instagram, you're doing a great job of it.
Well, and Robert LaFitte's a big part of the partnership too. So father's looking to retire in the future, and he does all of our design right now. He's our plan design section. So Robert and I manage the construction, and then we split our duties. I handle sales and marketing, and he does more of the admin side of things. But Robert kind of balances me out as well. I'm very high energy. Let's get it done. It needs to be done now. And he's, a little bit laid back, and people kind of will dig us sometimes and say, y'all are so different, but it works. We might butt heads sometimes, but we're always looking towards that common goal. So it's the yin and yang approach.
Yeah, that's great. That's important to have that balance there. One other thing, I did some research on you a little bit, and I found out that you were the youngest home builder to receive the designation of Certified Master Builder in the state of South Carolina. So that's quite an accomplishment.
I was. I don't think I am anymore.
Well, sure. Yeah.
I had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, coming in as a son of a successful builder, and I kind of wanted to prove myself, and I was very eager to get experience. And now, I used to say, I'm the youngest guy at the Homebuilders Association or whatever I was doing. And that's not becoming the case anymore. So it's funny how things change. But yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of change, obviously lots changing in the world. So I always want to check in, how are your projects doing? What kind of projects are you up to right now? How many are you working on?
Our projects have been, we've been pretty much nonstop. The coronavirus is now, it's becoming more of an issue, I think, in South Carolina, as a lot of people are traveling to our state. You hear about hotspot regions by the coast and whatnot. But for us, it almost created a sense of urgency. I think the lending has to do a lot with it. People are worried that they won't be able to get their loans. They won't be able to have the appraisals. I think there's this fear of when's it going to drop out? We want to get it while we can. So we've continued to sign up jobs and continued to start new projects. Had a little bit of slowdowns with some of the counties just because they've been working slower. But it was full gas when everybody else was staying at home and whatnot. And we're trying to distance and we're doing virtual meetings and everything we can. But it has been busy. So
That's great. That's awesome. I was curious. So design and build, and like you said, your father seems to be the one that's kind of overseeing design build. How's that process worked digitally? I mean, have you had to start new projects and go through the design phase?
yeah, I think we signed up at least one, maybe two sales done through Zoom. And we have a benefit. The design build has been a really good tool for us to stagger our work and kind of plan our work accordingly. Yes, it's wonderful that we get to design people's houses exactly what they want. They want that anyway. But when they start with us, we start with the budget and what are you wanting to get for your job? You know, let's get down to brass tacks. And then we go from there. So we're designing a house that's going to be built. And we don't start a design until we get a little deposit. Small amount, but it's enough to say, hey, we're serious, and allows us to stagger the work. So the design build has been a good tool for us to say, okay, we're going to start this design in 30 days. We have a deposit. And then that will push the construction to 60 days out or whatever it is. And so the design build has been a good tool. People get what they want. They don't design a set of plans usually that they can't afford, which can happen a lot if they go to an architect or another design firm that's not asking them about the numbers. So it's been a really good niche for us. I would say we design, more than 9 out of 10 homes we build. We'll design or we'll build other people's plans as well. But it's just people enjoy the process. It's smooth.
Awesome. And for those of you just tuning in, again, we're having a real talk with our real pro of the day, RB Gallup from Gallup LaFitte. Again, they're based in South Carolina. And if you've got a question for them, let me know in the comment box, or you can just type your comment in the little box down there at the bottom, and we'd be happy to answer any questions. One other question I had for you was about your marketing. So, because I know that's kind of one thing that you handle. It's kind of in your purview. What's that been like through this process? Have you had to adjust or,
Well, it's been a busy time in my life that I've honestly not done. I need to step it up. Instagram, web, all of it is about being consistent and staying on it. During this time, we purchased a new home. We remodeled that home, finished remodeling a house and put our old house on the market, sold that house, purchased our office. Robert, my father and I purchased our office, and then we're remodeling it. So, and we hired a new project manager. So it's been full steam. And
yes, you're a little busy.
Yeah, and it's hard. Some days you just don't want to get on here and look at yourself and talk about how great the world is because you're busy. But I would say consistency is key. And the negative is everything I do is not as polished because I do a lot of it one-on-one. But I think it's also a positive. People want to see that it's a real person and have that connection versus just a professional marketing company spinning your social media. Larger companies, that makes sense, but for one-on-one builders, it really helps.
Yeah. So are you tracking in the sales process, like how people are finding you? And then, and can you speak to maybe once you find out how they're finding you, like where they're going to build, like how's that process work of figuring out, like, do you guys have lots or,
Well, Jackie at y'all's website department is working on our website. She's going to kill me because she keeps asking for a review. And I've been so busy. I'm like, we'll get to it because I want to devote the time to give her the insight. But she's working on a new website for us and going to help us with the lead integration and the contact form, which will be really slick. But we've been recording them, and we're starting to use the Buildertrend lead tool more so we can see where they're coming from. people just tell us too. Like I follow y'all on Instagram, and you get an idea.
Yeah.
So it used to be more of just a reinforcement where people would see a sign, they would see a product, a house, maybe a referral from a friend, and then they go online and they check you out, and that's kind of backing it up. It's that, but then it kind of stays with them for a while. It's not let's check out their website and okay, give them a call. People really do their homework and investigate. So it's been helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I loved hearing that you're working with our team about building a new website. That's exciting. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit, but also working on the lead side of things. For those of you who don't know, you can use Buildertrend as a CRM tool to manage your leads, and that way you can track and figure out where people are finding you from. You can integrate it right on your website as a contact lead form, which is a great idea. So tell me a little about the website process, what that's been like for you.
Well, she's done a concept. The team has done a concept for us, and I haven't given her my feedback yet. So it was like right when all this coronavirus stuff took off, and it's one of those things I put at the top priority list for each week. And, the jobs in progress and the admin stuff somehow creeps ahead of it. But I'm jumping back on it and getting with her this week. So
I think we can all relate to that. And, obviously as a business owner, you've got so many priorities, you got so many things to keep the eye on the ball moving across the field here. Marketing, of course, I always say marketing is everyone's responsibility at the company, not just the owners, not just the marketing team. It's everybody's responsibility to put the best foot forward out there for the company to see across any market, whether you're on the job site or whether you're making a phone call, what have you. It's kind of a really big team effort to make sure that everyone's delivering the same message and communicating and giving the company the best look out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it gets to clean jobs, signage. We put signage on our lakefront and on our streets where we're allowed to. In some subdivisions, they don't do that. We try to keep our, job site rules, our trash cans on each job, and trying to promote that culture of, every house is a showroom, and we don't have any model homes. So, you better believe that people are looking at your houses in progress, because that's how they're going to find you and call you.
Yeah, I love that tagline. Like every house is a showroom. I think you should put that somewhere.
It was in a letter we sent to the subcontractor team and the vendors the other day. So, but it's true. You're only as good as your last home too, and that's such a very true statement.
Yeah. What would you say is something that sets you apart from other builders in the area? Is there one kind of distinct feature of your houses, or is it the process of being design build? I know you mentioned that you were probably one of the first ones.
I think I think there are a lot of good builders out there, and I think people get fixated on I'm the best builder. Okay, yeah, I could name off a few other builders that build very good products here. I couldn't tell you a lot that use anything like Buildertrend, do the design build process, and have in-house interior design that helps with the selections. So we've really tried. It's about the organization, the system, which is always a struggle. We're always trying to improve it. Buildertrend has been a really big tool. I don't think we could have scaled the company and hired 3 project managers to work under 2 managing builders and 2 designers and all the pieces we have without it. It gives you that 50,000 foot view down at it. And so I think the design build niche, we do that better than most. And then the systems, it is amazing. South Carolina is kind of like a vacuum when it comes to builders, organization, and systems. They're just chucking trucks, as someone told me once.
Yeah.
They're gonna say I'm busy. I'm too busy for new work when it's good times. And then when it's bad times, it's, let's go out and try to get some new work. We've tried to stay consistent, and consistency and organization, I think, can make or break you. So
yeah, consistency, organization, and I'd add communication onto that, of course. And that's something it seems like, again, you guys are excelling with. So maybe you can share a little bit of how you use, Buildertrend as a communication tool, or whatever tools you're using for communications for your customers and for your team.
Well, Buildertrend, it has evolved on how we use it. We started with just the schedule and daily logs, and then we've kind of added some more. For us, it's the best use of it is for documents and communication. Daily logs are, I can't tell you how important they are. I would like y'all to change them to construction logs or some other term that doesn't say daily, but now I've talked to Joe at Buildertrend about that, but they are so, people love them. I have clients that say, we're out of state. We do a lot of out of state clients, and they'll say, I look forward to that. Seems like I always get a log around 2:00. So I start looking at my phone, and they're seeing pictures, and they're staying informed of what's happening, what's coming down the pipeline. When I first started building myself personally about 10 or so years ago, I was so aggravated. I don't like, I'm kind of an independent person, and it really puts me off when someone thinks that we're not doing what we should if we are. So I said, there's got to be a better way to communicate to the clients what's going on. And the schedule and the daily logs it's eliminated the call. Hey, what's going on in my house today? Hey, what's happening there? We're telling them. They know what's happening. And people love it. It's a proactive communication. And I can't, if we just had it just for daily logs, we would do that. We would have Buildertrend. And then we went to messaging this year. That was a huge push, and really, really hard to push the team to convince everyone, like, hey, we're not going to email, we're not going to text, we're going to use messaging. And it sorts it by project. The homeowners were so quick to adapt to it. We were like, oh, well, homeowners not like this. Most of them were using the message function before we explained it to them. They would message us. So it completely eliminated, for the most part, emails, unless there's something that's complex to send through Buildertrend, we use messaging, and we've got most of our subs on it too. So it's clean, and I can, as a business owner, I can see what's happening across other project managers. We have the global messaging function, and we tell our team that this is not this. Everyone has this feature, so all our PMs have it. They know what I say, vice versa. It's not so we can snoop your inbox. It's so if there's a problem or something we need to address, and one of the team members, like I know something that the project manager doesn't know, we're able to jump in. And it saved us a few times on a lot of things. So that global messaging function, while it is, you have to sort through a lot because there's a lot of messages every day. It's super handy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, you can see them globally, you can see them by project. And I love that you've made the decision, again, to go on that proactive take on communication, and then making sure that, I love that your homeowners beat you there to it, but that, getting the whole team on board, it's a process, right? The whole thing is you're just evolving your process, and it's a process in itself to get it out there. But that sounds like it's working really well for you.
It is. It's, I was very nervous about implementing the messaging, but it's been nice, and, it really controls, people I think are more, as you grow a company from being one or two people involved directly with the clients to having PMs with the builder, it's helped us create you're working with the company, you're not working with Joe on this, it's really helped us kind of form our organization.
Yeah. That's awesome. I wanted to see, last time I did this on live, it totally froze my live. But I thought I'd try it again really quick because I saw this house in one of your videos. I don't know if you can see this house with the solar panels. I'm a big fan of solar. I was just curious, how many people are doing solar in South Carolina? Is this something you're doing a lot of houses, or?
Well, we've done two while we were building, and one or two after maybe is two after the fact, but we consulted on the front end to run conduits and everything. And there's one power company that makes it very appealing here, Dominion Energy. It used to be SCANA, SCE&G, and they have made it a very appealing. You get tax credits, and you also, their net zeroing program or their net metering program works really well. Some of the co-ops aren't as friendly, but we're starting to see more of it for sure.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And later in that video, it shows the view of the lake. I'm assuming this is Lake Murray that you were talking about earlier.
it is.
Yeah. So you're building
It's
a
a
lot
huge
around
lake.
it.
Yeah. Big
Um,
lake, very deep lake, clean. There's no stumps. It's man-made, but they removed all the stumps when they did it in the 30s. And it's I forgot how many miles of shoreline it has, but it's very massive. So there's still lots of houses or lots to build on. They're getting more expensive. The house, and with that, the houses are getting more expensive as well. You know, people are choosing to build here versus the coast or the mountains. It's kind of that sweet spot in South Carolina.
yeah.
So we've gotten a lot of people recently from Colorado, from California. Let's see, where else did we have? We had one coming down from Ohio. So yeah, it's been a nice spot, and this helps with the out of town clients too. You know, they really. I mean, imagine spending $500,000 to $1 million plus dollars plus your land, and then not being there to watch it. You know, that's kind of nerve wracking.
Yeah. It's a big, I mean, I always say like home building, it's usually the biggest purchase somebody makes in their life. They're usually wanting to be the most invested they can be in something, right? Because of all the money and kind of risk involved with it. But using a tool and having proactive communication like what you're doing totally, eases the mind during that process. So, that's fantastic that you've figured it out. You've honed in the skills,
Always working to improve. You know, I mean, we've grown conservatively, but we've never been to this level before. But we've never had the amount of talented people to help us either. So we have all the tools in place. We just really need to refine that system. That's the story of any business.
Yep, absolutely. And again, if you're just watching this and you're looking to build on Lake Murray, let me introduce you to RB Gallup. He's the guy you should be talking to about Lake Murray and making sure that you're building out there, because they do a great product. So I'll have to go check it out later too. I'll go online and.
I see a couple of our clients on here as well, so I'll give them a shout out. Brian Rutledge and Donnie Durant. I see y'all there.
Yeah, I think
and
one
Soiree
of them
Simply, that's my wife, so my wife's watching.
Oh, there you go. I think somebody commented earlier, I think it was Brian, that said that they love the tool since they're out of town as well. So that's fantastic. Great. There's your testimonial. We got your testimonial right there, right?
That's it.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know this about our state. So obviously I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. You're in South Carolina right now. And we have a lot of similarities, a couple similarities that you might not know about. One is that both of our states have no major professional sports teams.
That's true.
Yeah. But we frequently see your teams from their two universities down there up here for the College World Series, which of course.
Yeah, South Carolina is the one you need to follow. I don't know the other guys, but.
I figured I'd get something out of you on that, like which team,
Oh, it's not, you're not casually one fan or the other. It is diehard because, like you said, we don't have any professional sports, so it's all Carolina or Clemson.
Yep.
And it is huge, and Clemson's had a great football program, so very jealous of that. But we've won some College World Series in the past for sure.
Yep.
I heard it's a great place to visit, so.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to have you up next year, of course, because this year it didn't happen because of the coronavirus. But next year, I think it's going to happen next year. And, we'd love to see your teams back up here to check it out. So one other thing I was going to say, just real quick, I was going to ask you, if I were to come to South Carolina, come to your neck of the woods, what's something that you like to do or a place you like to eat?
Okay, well, Columbia is interesting. I wouldn't say Columbia would be on a lot of people's travel destination. They would shoot to the coast down to Charleston or one of the beaches there, or up to the mountains, Greenville. But when they find themselves here, there's a lot of cool stuff to do. And so it's a good place to stop over, especially. We've got a great downtown area. Downtown Columbia is it's really kind of having a revival, and it's got great restaurants. There's some local places. My wife and I like Terra a lot. It's a very nice restaurant. Home Team Barbecue, which was started in Charleston, now has a spot in Columbia, and it's a lot of fun to get together down there. And then We have a bunch of rivers, and they have a series of parks around the rivers. There are two rivers that come into Columbia. It's the Broad and the Saluda. And the Saluda is a cold water release whitewater river, which is very strange that you'd have that in a hot city like Columbia.
Yeah.
But it's on a fault line, and we have some rapids there. So I enjoy going down there. I actually paddle whitewater. I'm a whitewater kayaker, and I do some mountain biking. And we have both of those things here. And so lots of outdoor fun. But those confluence of the rivers, they have 3 parks there, and they're all being connected as we speak. So you could, ride your bike or walk on a stretch of boardwalk that would take you to all 3 of those rivers. And it's a lot of fun. And then Lake Murray is beautiful. Lake Murray, if you could find a house to rent, is just a wonderful place to be. It's a huge lake. You'd be here and not see it all. So it's a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. I love the little adventure side of you with the whitewater kayaking. That sounds like fun.
Yes, I have to admit it has been. It's one of those things where I always joke with my wife, like, "Oh, we just need to move to the mountains." I follow a few builders in Asheville, and I get jealous of the views sometimes. But we are so close; we can be to the mountains in certain areas within 2 hours, and we're in the beach, and we have such a wonderful thing established here, and a really easy way of living that I enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a great place. You've got a great company there, and so thankful that you're part of the Buildertrend family, and we wish you continued success in your business. Thanks for joining me today, talking about business and, building. Really appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in, and make sure you give Gallup LaFitte a follow on Instagram.
Please do. Well, Thank you.
No problem. We'll see you later.